Smell us now, lady. Welcome to MeatEater Trivia.
MeatEater Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to MeatEater Radio Live. It's 11 a.m. Here at MeatEater HQ in Bozeman, Montana. That's 9 a.m. on the sea otter infested waters surrounding Prince of Wales Island. I'm your host, Brody Henderson. I'm joined today by the man every elk in Montana fears the most, Cory Calkins.
I thought that was my cue.
Nope, that's not you. We also have a very special co-host today that some of you might even recognize. That's right, Steve Rinella is back in the house. Welcome back.
Thank you, man. It's always fun to be here.
Been a while.
Yeah.
We got a big show today. We have Heather Douville. She's going to talk to us about her life up in Southeast Alaska, and a couple of her new MeatEater shows. Me, Steve, and Cory are gonna lay out some indefensible laws that we're gonna defend anyway. We've got some primo hot tip-offs out of Wisconsin and some advice for husbands and fathers during hunting season.
Ooh.
And in the spirit of full disclosure, this is not actually live. We won't have any live chat feedback. And the reason for that is because the day we were supposed to record live, Phil's going to be out of town, nerding out on video games. Phil, you want to tell everyone what's so important that you've got to miss a live recording?
Yeah, it sounds like you're making that up, but you're not. When you're watching this, Randall and I will be on a plane on our way to Nashville, Tennessee, going to Buckfest 2025, and Buckfest is also the grounds for the World Championships of Big Buck Hunter. So Randall and I will be there documenting it, making some video content that you guys can look forward to soon.
A bunch of
Phil looks good with that black backdrop.
I know.
Man. Go back to that for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Good job overemphasizing that.
If he wasn't married, he'd be cleaning up right now.
Oh, Steve, don't.
Are you have you played Big Buck Hunter, Phil?
I was never a big light gun. I didn't have a Nintendo, so I never played Duck Hunt, and I didn't spend enough time in bars before I had a kid to get really good at Big Buck Hunter. So it was never so this is a whole learning experience for me. I'm excited to check it out.
Is Randall good at Big Buck Hunter?
I don't believe so. I know Cal holds some pride for his buck hunter skills.
I used to forbid my kids from playing in it.
Yeah.
And my buddy Jimmy Dorn had a pizza shop, and he had that in there, and he knew I hated Big Buck Hunter because I thought it taught bad ethics. And I'd come in there at first, and he'd do his hand my kids rolls of quarters just to antagonize me.
Yeah, I'm ambivalent towards it. I imagine you're going to see a bunch of non-hunters pretending they're hunters there, Phil.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, most likely. Randall I think is planning on dressing the part. I think he wants to go in full First Light camo and just hang out. So we'll see how that goes. But we've talked to the guys putting it on, and they say it's a mix of hardcore real hunters and people who have never touched a gun in their life. So we're excited to meet all the people that are going to be there.
We'll have fun.
Thanks,
Brody.
Brody.
Looks good with that black backdrop.
All right, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's show, I need to let everyone know that the newest edition of our audio original book series, MeatEater's American History, The Hide Hunters, 1865 to 1883, releases next Tuesday on October 14th. You can pre-order it now wherever you get audiobooks, Audible, Apple Books, wherever you can get them. Steve, you want to give folks an idea of what to expect from hide hunters, like some titillating tidbits about the life of a hide hunter?
Yep. For those of you that have listened to or follow our MeatEater's American History series, we've been focusing on different eras of commercial market hunters. So we did the long hunters, which were the professional deerskin hunters, most notably Daniel Boone and his colleagues. Then from there, we jumped up to the Mountain Man era, which was the Rocky Mountain beaver trappers. Big names from that era would be Jim Bridger, John Coulter, Jed Smith. And that volume tracked up to 1840. So for the hide hunters, we're jumping ahead to 1865. 1865 is the year that the Civil War ended. And we're covering the years 1865 to 1883 when the last 15 million buffalo on the American Great Plains were shot out by professional buffalo hunters, which we call the hide hunters. A very bloody time, very dangerous occupation. even though those people are much maligned now and they're regarded as these great enemies of American wildlife, you have to begrudgingly, even if doing so begrudgingly, you have to acknowledge just an incredible skill set. It sounds funny to say it, but an incredible skill set. And I hesitate to say it too, an unbelievable work ethic that propelled these guys out on the Great Plains to do the great buffalo slaughter. So we cast some shade on them. We talk about their motivations. They were products of the Civil War. These are generally people that had no prospects in life. Poverty was rampant, and the American history pushed them onto the plains, where they killed 15 million buffalo in a decade.
Yep.
It's an incredible story. And then from there, we'll jump into whatever. We're still debating what we're going to jump into next.
You haven't decided yet.
No, we might do something about the birds, the bird hunters.
I know for a time you were thinking about whales, but you nuked that.
No, not doing the whalers. I think that we might jump to Alaska during the Great Depression. No. It would be Alaska, and we would cover possibly Klondike to statehood, or we would cover the Roaring '20s and end it at the stock market crash.
Yeah.
And
but
do about
surrounding fur, right?
The Alaskan fur trade during the real glory days when huge amounts of cash were entering that state and coming into the hands of people who had never had a cash economy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you've done 3 of these, Steve, the long hunters, mountain men, and hide hunters. And you can include the next one too if you want in this question I'm going to ask you. If you could go back in time and pick one of these eras and professions to go do, which would it be and why?
Hide hunters.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
If I could do if I could do the time machine thing, I've always said that I would like to go back to the first Americans to hit the Great Plains 20,000 years ago, 17,000 years ago, whatever. But if I was really sitting there and I had to hit the go button, I might go back and go with Boone, Daniel Boone, the first time he went through the Cumberland Gap and spent 2 years in Kentucky.
Because that was still new territory. The hide hunters weren't in new territory necessarily, right?
No. When you get into the hide, well, put it this way. This is something we point out a bunch in our hide hunter piece. There were hide hunters that killed 10,000 buffalo. There was an individual who killed 10,000 who lived to see Playboy magazine published. He lived to see the end of the Korean War.
Automobiles.
He lived to see the introduction of the Corvette.
Wow.
Nuclear subs. And he was fighting Comanches while killing 10,000 buffalo on the Texas plains.
Wild.
It is this market hunting period that perfectly straddles what we think of as yesterday and what we think of as today.
Yeah.
It's a crazy era.
Kind of makes living through the creation of the internet not seem like such a big deal.
There were hide hunters who lived to see the publication of a Sand County Almanac, and who experienced a person, Theodore Roosevelt, campaigning against market hunters become president.
Yep.
And
crazy to think about that way.
No, they sat on the edge of something, man.
Yeah. All right, so order that book and listen to it, and Steve will figure out what the next one's going to be. Before we get into Heather's interview, you guys planning any big hunts that are coming up?
I'm solid kid from here on out for a while.
Me too.
Yeah. I got a month of hot kid action.
Kid antelope, kid deer. Yeah, that's fun though. This is my favorite.
No, I wouldn't have it any other way, man.
Yeah,
all kids, all the time. Speaking of kids, I put some little kitty waders on your desk.
Oh, I saw that. Thank you. Yeah, we'll use those. Go looking for crawdads.
Cory, are you done archery hunting? Or are you no?
No.
Keep at it till the bitter end.
Man, it's only been a couple weeks. We still got a few more here in Montana.
Yeah. He's like, kids? What kids?
Yeah.
Well, my kid's just on the cusp of being able to come with me.
Yeah.
He'll go out and toot on the bugle a little bit, but it's more of a nuisance than anything.
Yep.
So no, I'm gonna get back out for.
But you got to bring him, man.
Oh,
you gotta bring him.
Oh, he loves it. But yeah, no.
You got
selfishly going out for myself.
Any close calls with bulls yet?
Oh yeah, I tried to get a couple buddies into some elk that second week of the season. I guess it would have been the third week of September, and we almost killed elk every single day. But they weren't like fired up like they typically
Have you pulled your bow back yet?
Nope.
Haven't drawn
No
back.
drawbacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Knocked a few.
Let's get to the interview. I think Phil has a special drop here for Heather Douville. Phil, you gonna lay that down?
Yeah, I put it in the script and then I took it out because I didn't know if you guys wanted to listen to it. But we
No,
can
of
do it.
course.
Oh, let's hear it, man. I mean, we'll rate it.
yeah.
We'll rate it and see.
Oh,
if
I
it's
think
any
this is
good.
one that I haven't played since you were last here, Steve.
Oh, so we've already heard.
You've
it.
already heard it. It's the Fleetwood Mac one.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm not familiar.
All right.
Oh, listen to that bass.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
All right, for those of you who aren't familiar, we're going to be talking to Heather Douville. Her traditional name, Heather, I apologize if I butcher this stuff. Her traditional name is Kutink, and she belongs to the Shankwadai clan, which is Eagle Wolf. Did I get it right?
No.
Okay. Don't worry about it then.
The pronunciation, but I appreciate you trying. Thank you.
Well,
Goodness,
you can tell us. Let me get through this. I'm trying to get through this, Heather. Let me get through it. You live on the ancestral lands of the Tlingit people in Southeast Alaska, and Heather actively practices and shares the heritage and cultural traditions that have been passed down for 10,000 years. All right, so tell us how you pronounce that stuff.
yeah, my traditional name is Kutink, and I belong to the Shankwadi clan. It is a
Shankwadi.
eagle.
Man, I didn't do that bad.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
You're on the right track, and the way you.
It'd be like if
said
I
it-
called him Brady. If I called him Brady and he's like, well, it's actually Brody. And then I go like, well, it wasn't that bad.
Right. Exactly.
pronounced Tlingit with a K, but it's like a THL Tlingit, and
Yeah, well,
takes
Heather,
some
do it where you, because I know
like a
you,
spell,
yeah,
like
there's a way you say it, then there's a way you let people that aren't
Right.
familiar with the language say it. Like, but do it like how you do it if you were talking to an elder, you know, from your people.
Yeah, I would say Tlingit.
Okay. But
that's how my
then
first
people that are
say it.
just kind of hacking their way through, it's
They
like
say
a
Tlingit.
clink it, yeah.
Got it.
Spelled with the T, so
I'll
it
try to get it right next time.
can be confusing. Thank you.
Yep.
You know what's pretty funny is, well, we're going to talk about the show, but when the team was up here, you know, our dogs only know Tlingit commands, so they don't know English.
Oh,
So as-
Great. So no one else can
as
tell
the
your dog
film
what's
crew
up.
was up here,
So if your dog's attacking someone and that
They don't
person
listen
tries to
unless
say,
you-
stop, sit.
yeah, you got to yell at them in Tlingit. So the MeatEater crew that was up here were learning all kinds of words.
Yeah.
Clink it dog commands.
Because they had
That's
to herd
nice.
the dogs out of the scenes and in the house.
Heather, I know you've been busy all summer putting up fish and sea otter fur. And I think you've been out deer hunting already. Like what else do you got going on through the fall? What's the rest of the year look like for you?
Yeah, this is really a. I think I would last joined in the spring, which is like the emergence of new life, and now we're entering fall, which is a quieter time and a more restful time. So I'm kind of grounding myself into a more balanced schedule. The salmon return, the leaves are turning, you know, it's getting colder. I did get a deer last month, and one of my goals this fall and winter season is to practice my bark tanning skills. So I actually got the deer and I successfully tanned the hide. I have it
Oh, really?
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got it done already.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
wow.
have to soften it a little, but you know, it's got a really pretty suede
kidding me.
side. This is done with tannin, so like a tree skin and a deer skin will make leather, and it
Yep.
smells really good. And all of the
Huh.
ingredients that you use can just go right back into the earth. They're non-toxic, organic. So I was pretty proud. This is my first big project.
Yeah, man, congratulations. That's awesome. That was great.
It's really soft.
And you guys shoot those deer in the head, so there's no bullet holes in that hide.
Yeah, we try to shoot everything in the head. For deer, we try to reduce waste as much as possible because we eat the neck and we take the neck bones and make deer neck soup. And I have a funny story about the first time I learned how to hunt deer. If we have time.
Lay it on us.
I had never shot anything in the body before because I just learned how to shoot everything in the head or like maybe right behind the ear. So we were hiking up and, I didn't learn how to hunt until I was almost 30. So my dad gave me a rifle and I hadn't missed yet. And I was like, Dad, what if I was going to shoot a deer in the body? Because I know a lot of people from other areas, shoot deer like in the side. I said, what do I do? And so we kind of stopped on our hike and he told me. So I was like, okay. And I was, pondering that. And we get up to this muskeg and there's a huge buck right across looking at me. And it's like a 4x5, the biggest deer I've ever seen. And he's like, oh, shoot. Yeah. Okay. So I get ready and I'm aiming for its head. And I was like, well, I'm just going to shoot it in the body because then I'll for sure get it. And I drop down and I shoot it in the body and it runs away and he screams like, what happened? And I burst into tears and I go, I don't know. And he's like, what happened? And I was like, I tried to shoot it in the body. Well, he gave me a 222. So, it's
so
about
it went
the
away.
only rifle I had until last year. And there's all this brush, right? And I just thought a bullet would blast right through brush. And he's like, you can never shoot through brush. And he didn't tell me that part. And I lost sleep for like a week. I could not stop thinking about missing that deer. And it was big and shooting through brush. And so the learning experience for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it seems like you've got the deer hunting thing figured out now, though.
Yeah, and we try to skin them real close, but you don't want to skin them so close where you score the hide. So you definitely take your time and skin them nice if you're going to save the hides, and then you can bark tan, and it takes like a few days to like let the hair slip, and then about a week to bark tan, and it produces beautiful results. And so now I just mixed up this morning a big tote of bark tannins because I'm going to try to do a hair on bark tan on a bear hide that was gifted to me this spring.
Cool.
You need to make Steve some buckskin breeches out of those things.
I would like some buckskin breeches.
Yeah.
White ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Heather. You got a couple new shows out on the MeatEater network. Our Way of Life, which really digs into how you and your dad live up there in Southeast Alaska and everything you do out on the land and out on the water. And that airs every Monday night at 6 on our YouTube channel, the MeatEater YouTube channel. You got anything to say about the experience of making that show? Oh, yeah. This was an incredible experience. I'm so grateful for MeatEater, sharing my story. And I really think of it as not my story, but this was a way for me to share a story that's much bigger than mine, for our culture and, the people that came before me, and also for youth. So there's going to be a place now where you can look up, about sea otter hunting or processing a seal and find information, whereas previously there hasn't been a lot of documentation on these processes. Yeah. I think it's one of the coolest things we've done in a long time. It's great. It's awesome. The first episode launched last night, and I've just received an incredible amount of messages and
phone calls and just all the love that I'm feeling from friends, family, and people that I don't know, you know, from all over is really overwhelming. I didn't really know what to expect. I was kind of having a heart attack like this week, nervous about it. But I felt nothing but love and support. And I really, you know, I have a 10-year-old niece, and she, you know, goes on social media and she talks about Taylor Swift and all these influencers, right? And I really wanted youth to be able to go on social media and go on YouTube and see, you know, youth from here and see people like them and people they know practicing their culture and not thinking that you have to be like somebody else to be, you know, on YouTube or on social media, and you can just be yourself. And we are ourselves, you know. My dad literally talks about having the runs on our first episode. So he's like, I forgot the cameras were even there. So it's really funny. If you don't want to watch sea otter hunting, you could fast forward to 5 minutes in and catch a really funny scene with the relationship between me and my dad is pretty funny to watch.
Yep, it's great. And the other show that you're in, MeatEater Sheds, are you in the shed right now?
I am. I'm in my fur shop. I spend a lot of time in here the fall and winter months. And that was such a fun episode. I forgot
That's where you do all your working on furs, like all the stuff you make. Yeah. So
previously, I didn't get the opportunity to share this on Sheds, which I wish I would have. Let me grab this. So my friends showed up with my dad last year and started building me this shed. So previously I was working out of my 2 spare bedrooms and my kitchen. So my whole house was full of supplies and machines and all kinds of stuff for working on furs. And my friends and family have been so incredibly generous and showing up and building me this space, and I love this space. But until last year I sewed everything by hand. So this was my thing that I carried everywhere. You could take
that
it
was
on
your equipment.
Yeah, so I had a little nail clipper for thread so you could take it on an airplane, skin sewing needles, my thimble that I've been using since I was 12. You can see I've reinforced the pad like 3 times. And so I wanted to also encourage people, like, you don't start like this with the Barbie shed. You know, I started going by hand. Every item I made by hand. It took hours, and I was working out of my house. So this feels surreal. I can't even believe I have this shed.
It's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in with us, Heather. It was great talking to you, and hope you have a good fall and good winter.
Thank you, Heather. Congratulations on that skin, man. That looks incredible. I'm jealous of that. I gotta check that out.
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
Thanks, Heather.
All right, up next, we've got a segment. We've done a time or two in the past called Indefensible Laws, where we're going to make the case for passing fishing game laws and regulations that some folks might consider indefensible, but those folks are wrong because we're going to defend them and make a case for them. So, Cory, you're up first.
Oh, gosh, okay.
Just cut this one out, Phil.
Why?
Well,
because
this is coming from
don't even float the idea. Don't even float the idea.
I've heard Cory say this a number of times, so he's got to make a case for it.
Don't give it air.
Yeah, this is coming from a very disgruntled, born and raised Montanan here in a room surrounded by.
I hope the FCC cracks down on you.
Other states. But I'd love it if game agencies, whatever state you might be in, and I think a lot of natives to their states would agree that some of these once or more than once in a lifetime tags maybe should be given to those native residents instead of just the folks who just moved in 6 months ago to be able to apply for some.
Well,
of
I
those
think if
resident
you've
tags.
been if you did like let's say 20 years in the state, you're cool.
Or if
20?
there's
Cumulative.
or let's say there's
Your kids are in this boat.
let's say there's 5 bull elk tags available, and it's special hunt, special
Yeah,
maybe
I know a spot.
one of those for a native or something.
No, and
Well, sure, yeah.
one now and then.
I'm really thinking some of these critters that somehow they're not growing as fast as other animals like moose, and
Moose, sheep, and goat.
bighorn sheep.
Yep.
The numbers are just going down. It's
I'm
getting harder and
into it.
harder.
I just think you're cutting it a little. I think that 20 years is cool.
But as Brody alluded to, maybe just having a hard percentage of those going to
20
a
years.
certain group of people in a bucket. And I don't know, obviously you have to
the
prove,
20-year bucket.
What hospital you were born in or whatever.
I think you get kind of entering into it just gets a little hard to control. If it's 20 years, it's cool, right? It's easy.
It's just getting hard to draw those tags. I mean, I
Well,
could see
I mean, it's always
myself
been hard
never
to
been
draw
able.
'em.
Oh, but it's just getting harder and harder and harder and harder.
By degrees, though, how much harder is 0.04% versus 0.025%?
Oh, right. Well,
Twice. No one thinks about it like that.
No, no.
When you're
No.
looking at the 000, and you're
Yeah.
like, shit, they're all the same. They're not all the same.
No, no.
And my problem was I just didn't buy bonus points when I was guiding. I didn't think I'd ever leave the
Oh,
guiding
man.
industry. So
Yeah.
there was
Sounds like someone.
18
Maybe there
years.
should be a law that if you screw up and don't play the game, you should be just out.
Yep. Well,
Or maybe natives should start accruing bonus points at birth.
that'd be nice.
For a while, you could buy your kids bonus
know.
points in
Yeah.
Montana. So
I
my
missed
kids,
that window.
my 2-year-old had 2 bonus points.
Yep.
And then they got rid of that.
Yeah, but they kept the points.
That's nice. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Now, what I've been telling my kids, here's the deal on this one. I've been telling them, because I'm doing all this, if when you start drawing moose, sheep, and goat, and I don't get to come with, you're paying me back for all that shit going back to when you were a baby. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to go along. No, I got to go with my dad on his most likely once in a lifetime moose hunt a few years ago. It was amazing.
No, it's great.
Yeah. Steve doesn't seem convinced, but I'm
I drew goat. I'm glad I drew. Well,
all right, Steve. What do you got for us?
Well, I've been pondering this, man, and I was going to do one, but I can't articulate it. The other day I saw one of those Tesla trucks with he kind of had a Yosemite Sam'd out where he had some adventure stuff.
Oh no.
And he had one of them rod tubes mounted to the, and I was thinking I could let it slide. I tried to be like, I didn't see that. But I can't get it out of my head. I felt like something died or something was born in that moment.
Died for sure.
But yeah, something died or was born. But that's not my rule.
Okay.
Because I haven't thought of what the law would be. My law, and it's totally defensible.
Okay.
I'm not a big I'm a states' rights guy generally, right? And I'm not for the man coming down and busting everybody's heads about stuff. I think a good role for the federal government, a good use of Trump's time would be that he comes in and he says, Hunter's orange laws going forward is a hat. I don't care
Executive order.
where you're from.
Yeah. I like
Orange
it.
hat.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So that no matter where, it's during general firearm.
Yep.
During general firearm, not special seasons, during general firearm, whatever your version of that is, orange hat, not all the vest, the 400 inches. Then you got your orange vest on, but then you got your bino harness on, then you put your backpack on, and you're like, well, technically I don't have 400 inches because it's all, and you're all worried. A hat. Wyoming,
Hat or vest.
Wyoming, it's a hat. A
Yeah,
hat.
minimum.
A
Yeah.
hat. Have it be a hat.
Yep. No, I
Now-
agree.
A hat or less. Idaho and Alaska have no orange law.
Right.
You shouldn't make them have an orange law. It's you can't be more than a hat.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's what I meant to say.
You're breaking the
Well,
law.
I'm
if you
kind of
work-
thinking about my law as I'm kind of I hadn't smoothed this all out the way I would have liked.
Right.
No more than a hat. If you're more than a hat, they're going to deprive you of federal funding. Schools, highways, nothing. Your state's cut off.
Where's hot pink fall into this whole law?
No hot pink. My daughter had made me order a hot pink vest. I send it back. I hope she gets a ticket.
Yeah.
Who's paying that one?
I'm going to take it out for lawn mowing money.
All right. By executive order.
No more than an orange hat, or else no federal funding for anything.
Gotcha.
Poor kids.
We should get that on the ballot. Mm-hmm. All right. Mine, I don't know if it's defensible or not. I don't think.
No, do it. You're gonna get some people. You're gonna get some whatabouts.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, well, yeah, what about?
Right.
But just go with it.
I don't think you should be allowed to shoot any mule deer does or antelope does anywhere ever, because like drought, winter kill, like those species are always like 1 year away from disaster.
Always,
constantly. And we've just seen places where killing mule deer does has, like over time, has had disaster effects on like regional deer herds.
Run with it. You're gonna have some naysayers. You're gonna have some whatabouts, but run with it.
Like if you need meat, and like I'm all for it. There are like here in Montana, you can shoot, I don't know, 10 whitetail does if you really want to.
If you got a good gas budget.
Right.
Well, yeah.
But there's like ways to get meat. And I just don't think anyone needs to be shooting. Mule deer does is the main thing, but I think antelope too. Because they're just like on the edge all the time, and in a lot of places there's a general decline in antelope numbers. Like, tell us about your antelope hunting experience back in the day, like what you guys used
They're
to
back to it now. We'd go out, two of us to go out east to the eastern part of the state because you could get all the doe tags.
Right.
So we would go
how
out.
many doe tags would you guys?
We would go out there. We would leave the truck. Our rule was you leave the truck, you come back with 2. You leave the truck, come back with 2. You leave the truck, come back with 2. Every year.
Yeah.
2 hunters, 6 antelope.
At least 2.
Then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, there's not that many antelope around.
Yeah.
Then it becomes hard to draw a permit. And all of a sudden now they're like, hey, kill all the does you want.
Right. Yeah.
2 does per.
Yeah.
And then let me crystal ball this. In a couple of years, it'll be there's no antelope around.
Exactly, because there'll be a bad winter.
And it won't because they're overgrazing. It won't be an overgrazing thing. It'll be a weather issue.
Yeah, and a combination of shooting too many does for a few years in a row.
No, I can see it. You're going to have a lot of pushback on that one. It's not like mine.
Yeah, like I could kind of see an exception on like private land for like crop damage tags where you get a bunch of animals concentrated in a small area, but that would like be the only thing that I might be willing to stretch it on. So there you go. I wish we had a chat going on so people could be weighing in on this.
Don't get me started on how many years in a row I haven't drawn an antelope tag.
I'll tell you a secret that people aren't going to like when they hear it either.
Don't do that.
No. I get antelope tags and antelope doe tags and I don't use them.
He's like the PETA people.
Yeah.
He's like the people in Florida that are buying all the bear draw stuff so they can sit out the hunt.
Taking away
He's no
opportunities
different.
from little kitties.
Yeah. Oh, man. He's like subverting the will of the state agency.
Like that doe's going to
No,
live
the
to have more
FCC
babies.
should come down on him, man. That's terrible.
All right. I'll get some hate for that one, but that's okay. All right. So we got another interview coming up.
I would just.
Yep.
Glad the chat's turned off.
Only done it once or twice. We got our next guest coming up, Guy Groenwald from Groenwald Fur and Wool out of Minnesota. Illinois. Sorry, Steve told me Minnesota.
Well, then I corrected myself.
I didn't hear you.
Oh.
This is like fur and trapping related stuff. So Steve's going to roll with the interview. So here we go.
As Brody said, we're joined today by Guy Groenwald from Groenwald Fur and Wool. Guy happens to be joining us from overseas. He's over in Europe right now, but we worked out the time zones, and he's going to join us. And the theme, what we're going to talk about, is how there came to be, why there is, and an explosion in skunk, you heard it right, skunk hide values. Some historic highs right now being paid for skunk hides. And if you follow the fur markets, and I always do just because I think it's fun and I used to like to trap a lot and sell stuff, there's always these little bright spots in the fur markets. And And I can't think of any time in my life when there's ever been a bright spot around skunk hides. But Guy's gonna explain it all to us. Guy, in your whole career, skunks have always been a marketable fur bearer, right? Like there's always been some market for skunk fur.
No. I mean, there was a time where I think we destroyed like 20,000 skins out of our freezer. We just we had stored them for 25 years, and we thought it would never come back. And,
it goes that bad? Because the reason I said that is I thought, and thanks for correcting me, I always thought there'd always been some level of a novelty trade in skunk that kept the market alive.
But it was so small, at one time that, it just, and we had, some of the off grades, there was just no way to market them in the novelty market that maybe took a couple thousand skins a year.
Got it. Okay. So where have skunk prices been hitting lately? And also, before you answer that, maybe do this. When you guys buy, you guys buy from trappers, you buy from hunters, primarily trappers. When someone brings you a skunk, what are they bringing you? Like, just explain that product, because people hear skunk fur and they think like, oh, it must smell bad,
Okay, so I'd like to differentiate. So the first thing is there is going to be, for most skunks this year, very little difference between just bringing us the tail and bringing us the entire skin with the tail. There will be very little difference in price, if any. And the only reason, as far as selling to my company, that you would want to leave the animal intact and not remove the tail is basically if it's a black hide or almost all black. Okay. Because then it'll be sold into the novelty business. And even the last couple years before the tail business started, the novelty business was kind of good. So, skunk were starting to creep up as far as value. So right now, there's still a market for novelty skunks, and, with tails, most of them have to have tails. And, we have thousands of skunks that are placed now without tails because we can sell the tails, but we can't sell enough of the hides. So
give me for when the novelty trade is good and you have a properly put up skunk fur, what would that skunk fur be selling for?
This maybe $20, something like that, for a really nice one, perfect tail, big size, something like that. But the poorer ones, the novelty business, you just couldn't move them, so it could be a zero. But before the tail thing came, even a good one without the tail, with the tail, obviously, for novelty was maybe $20.
Okay. And so when you're buying just for the tails, and we'll get to what's happening with them, but when you're buying just for the tails, you want the tailbone removed.
We want the tailbone removed, and we want it like it's stretched and dried, just like any other skin that you would stretch and dry. Or like if you stretched and dried the skunk skin, you want to do the tail. You want to remove the fat. I mean, if you're going to catch 100 skunks this year, I would buy a little borax. Borax works a little better than salt. And, you don't typically put salt to dry a hide as far as the fur bearer goes. But a little borax or a little salt on a tail is probably not a bad idea after you take the flesh off.
So you're taking let's just focus on the tails, I guess. So you're taking the tail, you're cutting the tail off at the base of the tail.
Yep.
You're removing the bone.
Yep.
Then you're scraping all the excess fat and muscle off. So you scrape it down to clean leather, skin.
Which shouldn't take you more than a minute.
Shouldn't take you more than a minute. And then you're tacking it out. So you're opening that thing out on a board and tacking it out.
Yep, or putting a little screen across it or anything just to kind of keep it flat, and make sure that you go all the way to the tip, because those longest white fibers are on the tip. So you want to make sure you go all the way to the end.
And then you dry it down. And if you want to add a little borax on there to help it dry, that's fine.
That's probably a pretty good idea, especially, if you're going to do any kind of quantity, that would be a really good idea. You're not going to have any hair loss. You're not going to have any putrefaction, so it does a little nicer job, because that leather on the tail is a little thicker, and it'll dry it down faster.
Okay. We'll get in a minute to what some of what I deem to be like pretty crazy prices being paid for skunks right now. But explain to folks, where are these skunks going and why weren't they going there before?
Well, they're going for Hasidic strymals, the hats, the Jewish hats, for Orthodox Jews.
Can you pull one of those up real quick, Phil? Do we have that technological capability?
Yeah, it'll take me a sec, but I can do it.
Go ahead, guys.
they're just they just didn't use them. I mean, they find a fiber that they really like, and they use it, and it works well. They want something that's real long. They want something that's kind of stiff, and they want something that kind of waves, and when they dance, or when they move around. And so yeah, that's what they're looking for. This is
We're looking at it on. We're trying to pull a Strimel up right now.
Okay, I think we pulled one up last time.
There it is. Yep, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so how is the skunk? Is the skunk like, how is the tail being employed in that hat?
They're just using the fibers.
But how are they getting them in there? Like what are they hooking it to?
It's an intricate process. There's glues and there's interwoven, and yeah, it's a real. I mean, those aren't $300 hats.
How many tails to make one hat?
I think for the really good ones, maybe 16, 20 or something.
Okay. And you say that's a $300 hat?
No, I said it's not. I mean, it's thousands of dollars. Thousands.
Okay. Well, so, but why are some Strimels $300 and then some are thousands based on what?
Anything's 300, but some of them are definitely a couple $1,000.
I see.
Cheaper.
So that is like, is it fair to say, I don't want to put words in your mouth, is it fair to say that this is sort of like a trend?
Yeah, it is.
This is a trend with that style of hat?
It is, but this is not like necessarily like a typical fashion trend. This could be used for years. I mean, they've used that same hat that you had up there, has sable tails in it, and they've used sable tails for years and years. Okay. And underneath it they use fisher tails, and they've used them for years and years and years. And they do though sometimes change. They do sometimes change the look a little bit, and they go a different route. Sable tails get more expensive. They use more of this or more of that. But they have used tails for years and years. They just haven't used skunk tails ever before.
Are most of these hats being sold in Hasidic communities in the eastern U.S., or are these being exported to Hasidic communities in Europe and Israel? Like, where are they winding up?
They are. Some of the Strimel is all over, but probably the skunk is mostly just in eastern U.S. Brooklyn, and Jersey.
Oh, okay, got it. And then when people, if a consumer is buying a Strimel, is a consumer shopping just by look, or are they shopping where like if you sell Strimels, are you advertising it as to its contents, or is it people just buy it because they like the look, or are they going in and saying like, I want one with skunk, I want one with sable?
No. I think even a pretty casual observer could see the difference, and the difference in quality. The longer hair, just how much nicer it looks. I mean, I've seen them in person, and it's kind of the bigger the better, really, and the longer the better.
My question wasn't very clear. And you might not know the answer to this. Is the buyer aware of what fur was being used? Or do you think it's just you're just aware of the look and you like the look?
They're more aware of the look. Yeah,
I see.
They're just like, wow, that looks a lot more, whatever you want to call that.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about prices, because this is where it gets kind of interesting. I remember in the years I trapped, like skunks, man, $3-4, right? So what could people expect this coming as we're coming into the fall, coming into the trapping seasons? What could people expect for a good skunk tail, and what makes a skunk tail good?
We're going to be 50, 35, and 20, depending on how good the tail is.
Okay,
so
50, 35, and 20.
And 20. And then if somebody brings in a tail and it's completely black, it's worthless. Okay, now if you'd left that on a skunk, and had the whole skunk, and it was a nice skunk, maybe with just a little bit of white, the skunk might be worth $15. Okay, because that can be used as a novelty skunk. But if it's got a lot of white on it, you might as well just chop it off.
Okay. So what makes, when you say a lot of white, like, try to help someone understand. So if they're looking at the totality of the tail and they're seeing that like 50% of that tail is white, where does that sit?
That's
grab a skunk, bro.
That's probably a $50 skunk. I mean, if it's but the only thing is, like, sometimes we have to look at a few other things, like the ends. They could be like it sort of looks like the fibers are like cut off at like 3 inches.
Yeah,
that could also mean it's not worth anything.
Can you see me pretty good?
I can see a little bit. That's probably that would be $30-$35 probably.
Huh. Okay.
That's a pretty nice tail.
That's a 35. Ooh.
This one kind of feels like a $7 tail.
Now what are we looking at now? 35?
Yeah, I'd say maybe even a little better than that. That's a pretty nice one.
Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, they're all Dude, I got to tell you, man, if I was still just like a Michigan kid with a bunch of traps, dude, I would be going nuts. I would be going nuts this fall.
Yeah, well, I'm certain that there's going to be more skunks trapped this year. So,
Who's getting real excited right now is turkey hunters, because like all those with fur prices being down for a long time.
Sure.
And you see these explosions of possums, skunks, raccoons, and you see like declines in ground nesting bird populations.
Sure.
That line up with those explosion in mid-sized predators, small mid-sized predators. It could be pretty good news for birds too, if there's some interest. What other? Oh, sorry.
If you trap skunk, you're gonna catch all those other items as well. Skunks, possums, and raccoons. So.
And you're gonna have an easy time getting permissions when you go and say, "Can I trap skunks?" They're probably gonna be like, "Uh huh." What? Give us a quick little snapshot. The last thing we'll hold you here for. Give us a snapshot of fur market in general, like going into the 25-26 season.
Okay,
what's the forecast?
I think I would start with skunk, actually. And I mean, the biggest question we get asked by everybody is this thing going to last? Okay. And I think it's very similar to the beaver market, 3 years ago when the beaver price went way up. I think that we all thought there is no way. We knew what the usage was. It's a very good market. The beaver, hat market is still very good. It's just that trappers went out and caught way more than we possibly thought they were going to catch. And so the market got a little depressed. There's two types of markets that go down. One is because nobody's using the product, and one is because they're producing too much. I mean, I like a market that's, being produced too much rather than a market that's not being used, because it means I can still sell it. So I think the skunk thing, will certainly start out hot. We need a lot of skunks, and we'll just see how aggressive trappers are. And if they're super aggressive, if you have extra skunks, skunk tails, what do you do with them? Nothing. So, we'll figure it out as we go. But for right now, we'll start off hot. I think last spring, when we ended up, buying, we run all our routes for beaver, which is, into, April and May. The market was very difficult. We couldn't hardly sell a muskrat in April, May. We had a very difficult time selling raccoon in April, May. China's market, because of tariffs, the economy there was horrible. All those items, wild mink. I mean, you just didn't hardly want to buy it. The guys brought their beavers, they had trapped those, and that market had gone down. So you were buying all this stuff, and you couldn't sell any of it. So compared to what the market ended up last year, if you take those prices, which were, I'll acknowledge they were pretty bad. I mean, I would say almost every item is up. Wild mink will, certainly they'll be double what they were last year. I mean, they're still not going to be great, but you can probably see some $12 males, which is, much higher than it was last year. I would say muskrats, they were unsaleable, at one time last year. They're definitely stronger. We've sold a few rats recently. Heavy raccoon, the semis are not so great, but some of the heavies, it's just an item that's not produced that much anymore. Wisconsin, northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, Nebraska, Dakotas, that coon is still a bit in demand. So yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit more positive than I was maybe even at this time last year, as far as the market on most items. coyote market is still, very, very difficult. But most items there's certainly going to be a market for, and go out and trap them. And if you're trapping skunks, you might as well trap some of the other stuff. Some of the raccoons. You obviously look for the better stuff. It's the stuff with holes, the stuff that's discolored. Things like that are going to have very little value. But most things will be a little better than last year.
Okay, last question. Are there going to be $1,000 bobcats again this year in the right places?
Yeah, sure. I would say so. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. The bobcat market, we're pretty well sold out of better bobcats. So yeah, the market is pretty good on those as well.
Excellent, man. All right, Guy Groenwald, thanks for joining, man. Good luck on
Thank you
skunk
very
buying.
much. Yeah, we'll talk to you.
All right.
Does that get you excited for trapping season?
Well, I don't, I just keep my stuff and use it for stuff, hats and whatnot. But I'm telling you, dude, if you could go back, if I was like me as a senior in high school and I knew that I could be those prices on skunks, I would be going.
Because they were a nuisance catch for you back then? Or?
I'd be going gangbusters.
Yeah.
You tried to, you did your best to avoid them.
Yeah.
I would be going, just to be able to be to try getting them.
Right.
I would be going absolutely gangbusters.
There are probably some trappers that are going.
Oh yeah, dude. Because you're talking
You can,
a bunch a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just the tails.
Right.
I would be going nuts.
Cool. Something new.
That's my whistle for that. Do that, Phil. You're probably good at it.
Nope.
Oh, can we plug the live tour?
At
Please
the
do.
end.
Oh.
Let's do it at the end.
Arkansas sold out. Fayetteville sold out.
We still got stuff to go through here.
Well, I didn't think we're done. I was just going to butt it in there. How was my interview? Did it go too long?
No, we're fine.
Okay.
Perfect, man. Need you on more of these.
Well, all right, it's time for a hot tip-off segment. Since it's that time of year when a lot of you out there are about to get accused of abandoning your husbandly and fatherly duties. Not me. It doesn't happen to me. But I know a lot of you, it's a problem. We got to... Oh, wait. Did I jump ahead?
Yep.
Oh.
Jumped ahead. Sorry.
Number 6.
No,
First-
Steve's skunk questions.
No, I know. We've got a bonus hot tip-off. We'll get to that. My bad. It's hot tip-off time where we decide which two hunters has the best kernel of hard-won knowledge and expertise. This week, the winner's going to get a Benchmade Meat Crafter. You want to pull it out, Corey?
Yeah.
Meat Crafter 2.0 and both flavors of our new jerky right there. Steve, you want to hold one up?
Classic pepper. What am I holding here? Oh, yeah.
So the winner's going to get that stuff.
Classic pepper and Hawaiian teriyaki.
Winner's getting that stuff.
Genuine buffalo meat.
And both contestants are going to get a copy of the new and rare
Collector's edition.
Yep. And today's hot tip off is a special Wisconsin edition, the cheese curd edition. We've got Ryan Beagle versus Kevin Hall. Phil, you want to roll the tape?
Ryan Buntrock.
Hey folks, Ryan coming at you here from Wisconsin. I've got a hot tip off this week.
It's a big
for
forky.
your out-of-state hunts when you have to cross lines and get the brains out of the skulls for CWD reasons. Pack your cordless drill, and you can either bring your own little 14 gauge wire with a J hook at the end, or if you're in a pinch, any old school tent stake, and take your cordless drill, stick it in the back of the skull, and you reamer out. It'll come out in goops, dump it out, take your standard issue water bottle, or if you're a high roller, get the squeezy one with the nozzle on the top from Quick Trip. Dunk her in the back here, give her a squeeze, shake it out, reamer again, back and forth, till you get all that stuff out of the brain cavity. It comes out like a goop, but you got yourself a legal skull for crossing state lines. Thanks.
That's brilliant.
All right, what's the next one,
Kevin
Phil? I
Hall.
like that one.
Hey, MeatEater crew, this is Kevin coming at you from Wisconsin. For my hot tip, I'd like to discuss a dedicated kill kit. So when I'm preparing to go on any Western hunt, what I like to do is take one of these gallon-sized vacuum-sealed bags, and I'll place my game bags in there, along with a couple of zip ties, my hunting license and hunter safety card. Maybe throw in a couple of rubber gloves. And then I always keep a dedicated skinning knife with extra razor blades all inside this bag. I'll throw it on the vacuum seal here, pull all the air out of it. And once that's done, I now have a dedicated bag that I'll leave in the bottom of my pack, and it's only gonna come out once I successfully harvest an animal. Hot tip for you.
Man,
It's a tough one.
It's a tie, dude.
It's a tough one.
You know what he should do with that vac sealer? You ever do this with your kids? Like when we're going somewhere, I'll take their coming home clothes
And yes,
vac seal their coming home clothes. Then they never get into them.
there's a bonus
in their
hot
head,
tip.
in their head, it doesn't exist anymore once you
Exactly.
vac seal their clothes.
Man, I've lost usage for my vac sealer. I don't like putting meat in there anymore, so that might be a good way.
Because
to
of
break
what?
it back up.
Microplastics shrinking your tank?
No, I just have a hard time getting every single one to seal correctly. And then the meat doesn't last as long compared to
Sealer.
butcher paper and wrapping
no.
paper.
I feel like I don't need to keep
That's
my
a big
like,
conversation.
Yeah.
my license and my hunter safety card in there with that stuff. And
I could see putting your tag in there.
Yeah, tag.
Some states, pretty
But that you can't ding them on that.
I'm just making observations.
comparison here. It's a brilliant idea.
It probably
to get the brain.
it probably compresses those game bags down nice, so they're taking up less space in your pack.
Yeah, no.
But man, I'm weighing in. I'm going with the skull cleaning thing because I've
Yep.
used like a piece of coat hanger and just,
Oh yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna try that.
here's why I'm going brain
Yeah.
slurry. The kill kit thing, I like it, but it's a packaging scheme.
Yes.
Not a scheme. It's a packaging. It's a
Yeah.
packing strategy.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yep.
But it's a package. It's like hey, it's all stuff you'd already think to bring, but here's how to like
Yeah,
pack it.
you might have it in a little stuff sack
Sure.
or in a pocket in your backpack. It's just a different way to do
Yep.
it.
So he's pitching us on how to pack it.
Yep.
Yep.
The other guy with the brain slurry, that's a legit pain in the ass.
Messy. Oh.
So he's introducing and, all due respect, I've heard that before,
Well, I it's makes it more efficient.
but he's introducing a whole concept.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with that.
And everyone's
brain
got a
slurry.
drill laying around. So
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the idea to vac seal your food and everything if you're really trying to compact your backpack if you're going on a multi-day hunt or whatever. So that one wasn't new to me, but using the tent stake on a drill for the brain matter, that one was new to me. So I'm going for the brain matter splatter.
all right, man, we got a winner.
Ryan, you're the winner.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Hard one.
But Kevin, you still get a calendar because your tip was pretty good too.
Yep. Hard one.
So now we can jump ahead to the and Corey, we'll get their contact and all that stuff to get that stuff out.
Oh,
to
for
them.
sure.
Cool. All right, we got a bonus hot tip for you today. Since I'll read it again. A lot of you out there are going to get accused of abandoning your husbandly and fatherly duties. So we got a very special bonus hot tip that we felt was worth its own segment. Let her rip, Phil.
Hi, my name's Ashley. We live in Wisconsin. We're new to the area. I'm a wife of a new-ish to hunting dad. And we listen to the podcast every now and again. And we thought we would give a hot tip for a tip-off from the wife's perspective. If you need, here's my tip. If you need more time because you haven't filled your tags yet, but you're worried that your wife will get mad because she's stuck alone with the kids again, here's my tip. It's five tips to get your wife to be totally fine with you going back out in the sand. Number 1, get her a coffee. Set her up for success. Get her a coffee. Clean the kitchen. Make lunch. Plan for dinner. Like take out the meat to thaw. Plan for dinner. Make lunch. Get her a coffee. Clean the kitchen. and get a new activity for the kids. Coloring books, new markers. Yes, you already have markers, but we like new ones, fresh ones. Activity for the kids. Plan an activity for the kids. Plan for dinner. Make lunch. Get her coffee. Clean the kitchen. She'll never be mad at you for going out again. Because you still haven't gotten your deer.
That's a good woman right there,
Or
man,
your
because
other
she's like laying out her
or
expectations.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, that
That's
dude
my
doesn't
tip.
have to guess.
Okay, goodbye.
Good point.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, don't be a goober and just leave without like doing what you're supposed to do.
Or you say like, I get it. This is annoying. What could I do?
Exactly.
Like, I get it. Like, I could get the whole. Like, I can see from your perspective, this is like a big ask. What can I do? One, short term,
Yep.
to help out, and what in long term, what can I do to like a little payback?
Yeah. But I feel like you got to be careful because you like can't like get this thing where you like work yourself into a corner and you can't go either.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, right.
When
And then
when his kids
expectations
get
year after year after year.
when his kids get older, though, here's his solution. If this is a thing for young dads. If you take all the kids with you, no one will ever get mad
Exactly.
Yes.
at you. You come home a hero every time.
And they don't have to be of hunting age.
No,
Right?
If you take them all with you, you could be like, I'm taking the kids out and I'm going to throw them out of a tree. Have fun.
Yep.
It's like if you take them all with you, no one is ever going to get mad at you.
Yeah, and you can be preemptive about it. You could take them camping over the summer, like before hunting season, and give the spouse a break for a weekend. It's like,
Sure.
Then you're ahead of the game.
People love their kids, but there's a lot. Most people are like, dude, if you're going to take them and go away for a couple of days, please.
Yes.
Then you don't have to worry about anybody being mad.
But Ashley made some great points. So thanks for sharing, Ashley. We're also going to give you one of the signed calendars. And your husband could put that up in the garage and like mark times when you should be taking care of the kids instead of you.
Coffee, check. Kitchen,
Yep.
check.
Yep.
Markers, check.
Lunch.
Use that calendar the way it's supposed to be used.
Meat thawed. I like that little
Yeah.
detail.
That's a big one.
Break out that burger.
You know, get that burger thawed out.
Thanks, Ashley.
Yep. Thanks everyone for joining. That's the end of this week's show. We'll see you guys next week, next Thursday on October 16th, and everything's going to be live. So the chat room will be back, and we can talk with you guys as we go. So thanks everyone for tuning in.